Harrison, walking into Mizzou Arena today, you could feel the energy from both the student section and the fans as the stage was set for the border war. Dominic Lovett caught a touchdown pass to make it 28-24 in the beginning of the second half, but Tennessee rolled on from there, scoring 38 unanswered to win 66-24. It's been 4 years since Mizzou basketball faced Central Florida in Mizzou Arena. If you can recall, Missouri's Jordan Geis made this game-tying three at the buzzer to send it to overtime. The Tigers would eventually edge out the night 64-62, but if you fast forward to earlier today, Missouri fans were experiencing some deja vu. The Missouri Tigers took the stage today, and people were wondering how this team will look in the fall with the newest additions via the transfer portal. The Tigers were without Noah Cart and Mbor Jacques tonight due to health and safety precautions, but with Isaiah Mosley returning to the floor for the first time in over a month, and Mohamed Diarra contributing off the bench, Gates believes he had a full team effort. Mizzou's Isaiah Mosley did not make the trip down to Columbia. An MU spokesperson said this was because of a personal reason. Reporting live in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Ethan Becker, KMU8 Sports. Coming home in baseball is as simple as a trip around the bases, and the same can be said about life, with multiple stops and obstacles along the way. But for Mizzou's Cam Chick, he needed more than the 360-foot journey. Mizzou baseball head coach Steve Beezer knew what type of player he was getting when he brought in Cam Chick last offseason.
Cam was arguably our best player in the fall. Like, he was very exciting, stealing bases and bunting, and just, and even showed power.
Chick has been making diving catch after diving catch, flashing the leather for the Tigers, before finally cracking SportsCenter top 10 with this catch at Florida.
I've been watching sports my whole life. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that.
My goodness.
But what Chick is doing on the field isn't anything new around mid-Missouri. Chick grew up in Rocheport and was raised in a baseball family.
Age of 2, 1, when I could finally walk, I had a bat in my hand, a ball in my hand, a glove on my hand.
Cam's father, Bobby, is a former Mizzou baseball player and coach at Hickman High School. His brother, Eric, is a Hickman alum and current head baseball coach at Tolton High School. But his mother, Kim, is his #1 supporter and first coach.
I still vividly remember his first T-ball game. We were out on the field, and he made all 3 outs the first inning, and he was heading into the dugout, and I told him he had to come back out because everybody bats through on the other side, and he was like, that's not right.
Cam was a Tigers fan, attending Mizzou baseball games, and when he became a highly touted prospect, he had the hometown team as an option.
Mizzou was always, on the map as somewhere I wanted to go, being close to home. But really, my goal was just to be able to play college baseball.
And that goal became reality, but not in Columbia. After leading Hickman to a second-place state finish in 2018, Chick packed his bags and headed to Nebraska.
Went up there, fell in love with the place in high school, the coaches, and the atmosphere, and really was an offer I couldn't pass up.
We also knew that if he wanted an opportunity to grow, as a young man, not just a player, that he probably would need to spread his wings and go a little further away from home.
Chick built on that opportunity to become a 4-year starter and Big Ten champion in Lincoln. For his 5th and final season of college baseball, though, a homecoming was too good to pass up.
Just reflect on, do I really want to be done? And found that deep down that I still loved it and I wanted to come back, and so I really just wanted to try something new and branch out, and Mizzou called, and the rest is history. It
was an answer to my prayer. I was just really hoping that when he did hit the transfer portal that his last go-around he'd be here.
Now throughout the season, Chick is a starter in the Mizzou outfield, but nothing is more important to him than family.
It's every single day I get to see them, and that family aspect has been huge to keep me, driven, going, level-headed, and they're always there because they always have my back.
And it's what leads every decision for Chick, because for him, family is everything. Chick will not be staying in Columbia for the long term. He said that this is his final season of collegiate baseball. Chick already accepted a job in Minnesota, but will follow his dream of one day playing in the MLB. Reporting in the studio, Ethan Becker, KMU8 Sports.
Center field, #7, Brooke Wilmes.
For 5 seasons, Brooke Wilmes had been a staple of Mizzou softball, being named All-SEC first team for 3 straight seasons. But on May 22nd of last year, it all came to an end in an NCAA regional.
It was very, very heartbreaking, and it took me a long time to get out of that process of being a student athlete.
Wilmus knew she wanted to stay with softball, but didn't want to leave the city that she played for.
Obviously, I could have been a GA if I wanted to at any big D1 college, but I don't know, I've always loved Columbia. Columbia has been my home for a really long time.
That's when Mizzou head coach Larissa Anderson helped her player for one last time.
Coach Anderson actually went and talked to the Stevens girls, and then Coach Kingsolver, she actually reached out to my head coach and was like, do you have anybody in mind? And then she sent it to me.
And on September 27th, Wilmus made the transition from center field to the dugout.
Very nice pitch, good job.
However, the move involved a large jump in school size from the NCAA Division I Missouri Tigers to the NAIA Stevens College Stars.
And D1 sports is your job. It is your job, and that's your first thing that comes first. But here, they're preparing them for life outside of softball, and softball is just their pastime.
But Wilmus is not the only former player on the coaching staff. Stars head coach Emily Kingsolver is a former pitcher and has helped Wilmus in the transition.
Seeing her try and find like different drills or different ways of seeing it or connecting different with athletes, I can see her really growing in that part.
And grown she has. You can see the connections and fun she's built with the players, whether by quoting movies,
364 days till hockey season.
or handing out M&Ms for getting on base.
Yeehaw, atta girl, good job.
But when Wilmus needs to get serious, the leadership emerges.
Hey, Annabelle, catch, tag, one hand. You don't need the other one.
And motivates her players.
You guys have to have a fire within yourselves to want to be successful, to want to succeed.
But being a coach is much more than teaching the game. It's about the life lessons off the field.
I think it's really helped how she has talked about mental health and how hard days are you're gonna have them, but how you react to them is really what's gonna impact your life.
Mental health is one of those things that is going to help you on the field as well. So having that type of support where they're very open with mental health talks and everything is very nice to have.
And it's through Wilmus's journey that the players know there is more to life than the game.
We always tell them there's more after college. It's not softball the rest of your life. And so she's living proof of that.
Reporting in Columbia, Ethan Becker, KMU 8 Sports.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
It was going to be tough for Mizzou softball to follow up last night's 17 strikeout and no-hitter performance by Lauren Krings, but they needed to on a day like today. All SEC teams were wearing the color teal for Alex. It's in honor of Mississippi State's Alex Wilcox, who passed away in 2018 due to ovarian cancer. As the Tigers are wearing it in Game 2 of the weekend set against North Texas. Kara Daly got things going in the first with a single, but this would be Missouri's only hit for most of the game. Then in the second, North Texas takes the lead on a Molly Rainey sac fly. It's a Mean Green's first run of the series to make it 1-0. Both teams remain deadlocked until the 6th. Mizzou Sierra Harrison got in a jam with runners in scoring position, but struck out the last two to get out of it. In the bottom half, Megan Moles singled to give the Tigers their second hit of the day. Then Alex Honnold brings her home. A single gets her on base, but an error ties the game and sends Honnold to third. Next at bat, a risky call pays off. Kara Daly's bunt allows Honnold to sneak in for the lead. Tigers come back to win 2-1. When it comes to SEC baseball, every game matters in conference play. After dropping yesterday's series opener to Alabama, the Missouri Tigers went from being in the middle of the SEC East to potentially missing the SEC tournament. Tigers trying to even the series with the Crimson Tide, but Alabama took the lead early. Rourke Multruth strikes out Drew Williamson, but a wild pitch allows Jim Jarvis to come home. The Crimson Tide takes a 1-0 lead. Missouri not having much luck in the batter's box. Garrett McMillan strikes out Trevor Austin. McMillan was currently throwing a no-hitter against the Tigers, and Alabama would cushion their lead. A 2-run homer by Colby Shelton gives the Crimson Tide a 3-run lead. Alabama would tack on another as they lead 4-1 in the 4th inning. And although we've got quite a while until the college baseball postseason, the XFL playoffs are right around the corner. St. Louis Battlehawks can keep their postseason hopes alive with a victory over last place Orlando. But the Guardians were playing spoilers today. Second quarter, Quentin Dormady lobs it to KD Cannon. That's a TD for KD. Orlando takes the lead 20-17, but St. Louis was able to jump back in front before halftime. AJ McCarron finds it open Jake Sutherland, and he barrels in for 6. Battlehawks led 35-30 at the break, and St. Louis commanded the second half. McCarron connects with Steven Mitchell in the corner for the touchdown. McCarron threw for over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. Battlehawks set an XFL record for points, winning 53-28. Now, the Battlehawks aren't in the postseason just yet. They will have to sit and watch tomorrow's game against the Vegas Vipers and Seattle Sea Dragons. If Seattle wins, then St. Louis will be eliminated based on point differential. But if the Sea Dragons lose, then the Battlehawks will advance and face the DC Defenders in the XFL playoffs. And that's all for sports.